Alright, you can see a new little addition to my Muso lineup here. I have others that I can't show because the Switch only shows 5 games, but I got Pirate Warriors 4 off the GameStop sale. It actually let me pay $10 a month since I'm trying to save money for Onichan Bar Origin. That's the last thing I need to buy this month for the channel besides PS Plus, which is like 15 bucks. Overall, normally I tend to beat games or at least put a couple hours into them before I do a port review, but I got all the achievements for this on the PC version, so I figure I just played through, I think I played like maybe 3 to 5 hours or so. The main problems with this port is really long load times, the battery drain is quite high, and the frame rate is uncapped. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this with, we're getting new consoles in about a month. There's been a lot of talk about how uncapped video games right now, uncapped frame rate games, are they're a blessing in disguise because it means that when an upgrade comes out, meaning the two new consoles for Microsoft and Sony, and then the all but confirmed more powerful Switch. A lot of these ports, especially Muso ports, are going to run a lot better just by proxy. Pirate Warriors 4 has an uncapped frame rate. It tries to maintain 30 if there's like no enemies on screen. Very similar to Pirate Warriors 3, it will run higher than 30 FPS. So this might be one of those games that just kind of gets an upgrade. I know this is going to be an oxymoron, but I actually saw I read a good article from Polygon today about how backwards compatibility is like an unsung, really cool thing about the new generation. A lot of games that run like crap, which is a lot of stuff on PS4 and Xbox One, to be honest, that have uncapped frame rates are just going to magically run better. You can see how long this is taking. This is the physical copy. It takes a long time just to get into the game. Worst thing about the load times is that, if you make a mistake or you're trying to level up more than one character, it's going to take you a really long time to get back into gameplay. Now, I can kind of excuse the way the game looks and runs because this is a PS4 port.
One Piece.
You kind of have to cut a little bit of slack at least. And like I said, it is running uncapped, so... Pretty much at this point, it's like... They're not saying it, but there's obviously going to be another Switch, so... I don't think we'll have to suffer with this for too much longer. Let's upgrade him a little bit. I find it baffling they have not improved this menu. It's honestly ridiculous how much time you spend on this menu versus doing anything else. Alright, let's go. So I'm pretty sure on PS4, Muso games they do stream the loading while you're on the prep menu. They've been doing that since the PS2 days. But for whatever reason, the load times in this are really long, so you need to make sure that you've set up everything exactly the way you want it, because otherwise you're going to be stuck in load screen purgatory. Now, I've done a couple levels on this, and I don't seem to notice a reduced peon density, which is something that's been plaguing like portable versions of Muso games for over a decade now. I heard that the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors, it was hard to get KO counts because there were less enemies spawning. Not sure what resolution it's running at, but in portable mode it seems to be running sub-native. Probably like 720p docked. I'm actually genuinely impressed with this port. Obviously it's not as good as playing on PC, but from what I hear, the base PS4 frame rate is not that great either, so the fact that they got this close to it, I think the highest it can run is like 40 FPS, which means that, like I said, when the inevitable new Switch comes out, it'll be running a lot better by proxy, which is pretty cool.
俺と同列の実力で本当に四皇に勝つ気でいるのか。邪魔だ。一気に攻めろ。
You know, as much as I rag on this game's DLC for being a weird mix between feeling unfinished and well polished, like this Barney guy is mad fun to play, but it took so long to put this DLC out that most people are not really using it. There's not really much to use these characters up, but when you buy them on a fresh file like this, it actually is quite fun. You have a new dynamic to how you played the game before. It's actually pretty depressing that these characters, most of them are actually quite fun to play, but there's just not much to use them on. If you actually bought the deluxe edition for this, I wonder how many people actually came back and tried the characters out. Sure didn't make a good effort to like get people to actually want to come back. I think this is actually one of the better looking Musou games, and it has a lot going on with the destructible buildings and stuff. I actually think this is a pretty good port. It's mostly just the load times is more of a problem than the frame rate. And like I said, that may not be a problem for much longer. Been endless rumors about a new Switch. I'm pretty sure it's going to come true in the very near future. There definitely is a lot of like environment and character pop in. Kind of reminds me of the PS2 Musou games in that regard. You know, there's no like fog or anything, but sometimes you can't see officers. The draw distance is not very long.
インスモークといってもこの程度。物語ではもっと強かったが。
さすがね
おいクソコック、俺の足引っ張んじゃねえぞ。
よりによって何してこいつせいぜい俺の邪魔はするなよマリモ。
止める、邪魔だ。
I still really hate that this game has stamina. I think it's a pretty bad implementation of it. You know, it's not like Neo where there's like actual skill involved to it. It's kind of just literally just you can't do much when you don't have it. Dash not being invincible in this game is really weird too. Without an ability. Well, there you have it. There's some gameplay. So as you can see right now, it's running a little bit faster than 30 FPS. In the event when we inevitably get a more powerful Switch, which is going to have to happen sooner than later. If they want ports to keep being on their platform. Yeah, this game will probably run at 60 FPS just by pure proxy. But who knows exactly what kind of upgrade we're going to be getting there. So you can see how long this takes. I'm actually going to show you how long it takes to back out and go back into gameplay. Like if you just want to level someone up and then pick someone else, it takes a really long time. So let's pick Barney again. So say I wanted to like level up Luffy or something. Go in here, buy him a move, and then back out. Say I wanted to play as him again. This is what happens. I haven't seen anyone mention this, besides just like one thread on GameFAQs. It takes a really long time. But to be fair, I play this on max settings on my PC with a solid state drive, and this game does have some really weird, like abnormally long load times. I don't know what it's doing under the hood, but it does do this on PC as well. It's just significantly longer here. So say I wanted to play as Luffy right now, I would have to sit through that load screen again. Yeah, it gets pretty tiresome. The battery drain is actually pretty bad too. However, I do have a pretty old Switch, like I mentioned in my last port review, which was Hades. It's been under almost daily use for over 2.5 years now, so it's been through hell and back. I have been holding out for the more powerful one personally. I have the first version of the Switch. The V2 one came out shortly after I bought mine, and I had the option to trade up to the V2, but instead I just decided to wait. It seems like probably next year, if they actually want a lot of ports on their console, then there'll probably be a new one sooner than later. Overall, I think it's actually a pretty impressive port. There seem to be less performance issues than Warriors Orochi 4. This game as well had the problem of being 1080p downscaled at all times, even in portable mode, so it drained the battery even worse than this, and the frame rate was not much better either. I actually think this is one of the better ports, and the main problem is mostly the load times. You know, if you wanted to play this on the bus or something, or, you know, the train or whatever public transportation you're using, a lot of time would be spent loading, versus something like, you know, Orochi 4 or 8, DW8 or any of these other games where you spend more time playing. I think the load times is what needs to be optimized the most. Like I said, the frame rate will probably get better in time by proxy whenever the new Switch comes out. But yeah, I don't regret buying it at all. It is on sale at GameStop right now. I don't think there was a large print run for this, so you might want to get on this if you can. GameStop is actually doing something called Quad Pay, where you can pay for something in 4 installments. They're actually doing that for the PS5. Obviously, they've been hit really hard by the pandemic, and even before then, they were struggling because of how much more convenient digital, gaming is these days. They're actually allowing you to pay for things in 4 installments. So I'm paying like $10 for this a month. They're also doing delivery. They actually deliver your game like it's a pizza or something. So I guess it's just to keep you out of the store because of the pandemic and everything. I recommend doing that. Actually, you could probably get the game pretty cheaply, and then just pay it off over time. The DLC is probably more worth buying if you're going to play it on here, because you'll have a fresh file, and if you played the game before, you'll have, at the time of the recording, you'll have 6 new characters to use. So that'll make things a little bit less repetitive. But when you buy it on the main consoles, you probably will not really have much to use them on. Overall, it's a pretty good port. I would say I'm genuinely impressed with it. There aren't many PS4 ports for Musou games on Switch. A lot of them are last gen. Hyrule Warriors is technically last gen. They did do some enhancements to it, but it's available on 3DS and Wii U. And then Pirate Warriors 3 was a PS3 and PS4 game. It wasn't exclusive. Not many exclusive ones. So considering that, I think it actually does a pretty good job of making the game portable. I haven't noticed any kind of reduced peon count at all. I've only been playing for a few hours, but I figured, how much more do I really need to play? I know this game pretty well. Anyway, go ahead and check GameStop. See if your local stores have it. You can actually get it delivered to you. I think it will be delivered by whatever carrier services there are, delivery services in your area, like DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever. They will deliver it for you. So that's actually what I did, because this copy was on the other end of town, and it would have cost me about $7 round trip to get there on our rideshare service. So I recommend doing Quad Pay. People are doing it for bigger things like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, but you can also do it for games as well. So if you want to take advantage of this and you don't have the money, you don't have all the money right now, or you can't get over there due to your schedule, definitely check out their site. Thanks for watching.